Can everyone hear me, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Hey everyone. Before Hunter shares some words, I'm here to advance the legal case that Hunter Buresh is, as Liza Green puts it, an old man trapped in a young man's body. But before I get to the legal proceedings, Hunter, you, Brooks, Xander, Isaac Lee, and I were all VES freshmen almost 4 years ago. We've all grown up together during our VES experience over the past 3.5 years. And I think it's fair to say we're all a little more confident and sure about ourselves than we used to be. To all the fellows in the advisory group, which also includes Gustav Gunter and Alex Stern, I love all of you, and I genuinely enjoy spending time with each of you. Being a member of this advisory has served as a source of growth and stability during our time together, and we've been able to rely on each other through good times and bad. And as maybe the most mature member of the group, which includes me, Hunter has often served as the compass for how the rest of us should orient ourselves to whatever life is throwing our way. That's right, Hunter is someone I look up to and want to be more like when I grow up. Many of us know Hunter as a mature young man, wise beyond his years. We know of his cool, calm demeanor, his patience, his musical gifts, his servant leadership, his work ethic, and intellect. But as promised earlier, let's get to the legal proceedings about how Hunter is an old man trapped in a young man's body. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I present the following evidence that Hunter is an old man in a young man's body. Point A, Hunter loves music from the 1980s. Point B, Hunter loves rock music from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And point C, if there's a mess, even if he didn't make the mess, Hunter is the one who will clean it up. Is he a little OCD? Liza Green says yes. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I declare that the case is closed. Hunter is an old man trapped in a young man's body. But some of you might say, Mr. Rim, you have a legitimate and convincing argument. But why do you keep on bringing Liza into the conversation? Well, I have an answer for you. My family and I live in an apartment attached to McCormick Dorm. Every time I enter or leave the apartment, it seems like Hunter is there. It's weird. Is someone paying him? It's like he's the bouncer of the dorm, prowling, or so it seems to me, patiently waiting for some mischievous intruder. When I approach or exit McCormick, I see Hunter, and I initially get nervous. It's like I'm 21 all over again. Beads of sweat begin to form my forehead, and my palms get clammy. I wonder whether I need to show him some ID to get into my own apartment. And if Hunter isn't there, James Fentress is. It's like they're two McCormick bouncers all the time. And I have to admit, after giving my initial argument some thought that Hunter is an old man trapped in a young man's body, I need to reconsider my prior contention. So after some consideration, please dismiss my prior argument. Hunter is in front of McCormick to enforce old man rules. Hunter is actually not an old man trapped in a young man's body. I was off target. I was wrong. I misjudged the situation. In fact, as I said earlier, Hunter is a compass for how we all should behave. How we all should behave and treat others who we love and care for. He is kind, caring, thoughtful, and loving. These are the attributes that define Hunter. He's not hovering to restrict freedom. He's not a real bouncer. And if he was, he wouldn't be a very intimidating one. Hunter is in front of McCormick promoting the best of these qualities of devotion, thoughtfulness, and love. So while he might be a quiet leader, he is strong of character, and he embodies some of the best of human qualities. And wouldn't it be a better place if more people in this world followed Hunter's example of devotion, thoughtfulness, kindness, and love?
That was really thoughtful. Thank you for your help these past 4 years. Advisory has always been a great time, and I think it will go well next year with all the freshmen. First, I would like to take a moment. I would like to take a moment to recognize the incredible opportunity I have to speak to you all today. With all the uncertainty this past year has brought on, I'm thankful to be a part of a long-standing VS tradition. There are many people I'd like to thank for leading me these few years. Teachers, coaches, mentors have all allowed me to grow into the person I am, and I cannot thank them enough. Like all great speeches, I will give some advice and try not to bore you too much. My first story is one of a weird, scrawny, and socially awkward freshman. I did not have much to stand on here and did not have many friends. I did, however, have my sister, Ann Patterson, better known as AP. She was in her junior year and had many nice friends, but I could never be around them long. I didn't want to become known as AP's little brother. I did, however, want to make friends as soon as I could. While talking to the other guys on Ainsley dorm, I quickly realized that all of the other freshmen were just as nervous as I was. I was not the only guy who didn't know anyone else. I especially felt more welcomed once I got to know the two counselors on the dorm. One of them, Scott Hong, led me into his room on the weekends to play Fortnite on his Xbox. While this was nothing huge, it helped me feel more comfortable with being here in a way that hazing and intimidation didn't. I kept a keen eye on Scott as he continued through his senior year and watched him excel in every area of the school. He joined the honor committee, was the head of student council, and even played varsity basketball. I was sitting there watching him do these things and thinking, what can I do to be like that guy? Now, I'm not a varsity basketball player, and I'm not a counselor on Ainsley this year, but I have set the bar high. I've made it my goal to leave a positive impact at the school. And although it feels like this year is almost over, I know there is still time. The bottom line is that we make this school what it is, and we have the potential to make this place better or worse than we found it. So I challenge you to put the goal atop your list of aspirations. I challenge you to all be like Scott Hong. Freshman year also taught me a lesson about how to show others who I was. After mentally getting a list of everyone in my grade who could play an instrument, I began formulating a plot to make some friends. One of the first to wander into my room with his guitar was Mike's son. He showed me a song he had just come up with, and I hesitantly agreed to play it with him in front of the whole school. So assuming many of you have not heard Mike's genius guitar playing, I'm gonna play a little bit of it. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. Mike, you're gonna have to judge me if this is good or not. Okay. Okay, I hope that was all right. Good? No? Okay. Thank you, Mike. So, as my story continues, while my music skills were not very strong at the time and have slightly improved, I went for it and stepped outside my comfort zone. Looking back, it was because of that experience that I had more confidence to show others who I was. Sophomore year, I found myself going back up to do another Fine Arts Friday, this time alone. Luckily, I had put off memorizing the lyrics of the song till the night before. In the frantic heat of memorizing lyrics and practicing guitar chords, a thought began to materialize in my mind. Then, as I stood on stage, the idea became whole. Some of these people in that crowd might not even know who I am. And in doing what I was doing at that moment, I was introducing myself. You might not want to talk to everyone at the school, but there's no way of meeting someone you like unless you introduce yourself. I would have never met Mike unless he had walked into my room with his guitar. So I challenge you to show others who you are and to say yes to Mike's son. However, that was just one of the instances where I challenged myself. Being brought into an awkward, heightened social situation is one thing, but taking hits and getting back up is another. Lacrosse taught me quickly to be humble. I was really bad. Trust me, the only mark I made on the lacrosse team freshman year was the creation of a small brown patch of grass on the sideline at every game. I struggled all freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and trust me, I would have kept going if one person had not graduated. That person who had kept me in the game was Josh Daggers. I know some of you might know him, but the impact of this individual was his effort and sportsmanship. Through him, I learned to be a better teammate, and 10 times out of 10, being a good teammate is better than being the best player. No matter how much I screwed up, Josh was there saying, "Hey, that's all right, let's get it next time." Although I got knocked down a lot, I never wanted to quit. I only saw hard work as a solution to my less than adequate skills. The people around me made the sport something that meant more than just the game. Whenever I started to get frustrated at my abilities, I told myself to focus on the next thing and try harder. So I challenge you to ask yourself, WWJD, or what would Josh do? The next one is not so much of a story as is some advice. As you've heard, many people have impacted my life positively. And it was with these people that I stepped out of my comfort zone, pushed myself to do better, and learned how to be a leader. These stories all bring me back to my main point. You have an enormous impact on others. And the legacy you leave behind creates lasting ripples within our community. The things you do in your own life affect those around you. So, will you cheer on your teammates even if the game did not go as planned? Will you take the first step and introduce yourself to a new student? And will you leave a positive legacy? So, I want to finish up with some thank yous. So, thank you, class of 2021. And special shout out to the boys' freshman year on Ainsley. I will never take it for granted again being able to play shell shockers with everyone in our grade in my room. Thank you, Mr. Budden, and all the other staff for making our senior year happen. Mr. Budden, I'm sorry for the PB&J earlier. Thank you to my 4 roommates, Brooks, Sproul, Charlie, Dodson, Javier, and Thomas. Thank you, Eliza, and your mom for being the kindest people on the planet and helping me feel like I have a home away from home. Thank you, Mom. You inspire me every day with your work. Thank you, Dad, for guiding me through life. It is said that life goes by fast, and if you don't take moments to pause and appreciate it, you will miss out. Which is oversaid. So my version is, it's important to be yourself, but don't miss out the opportunities to learn and grow from those around you. Thank you.